What's good? What's good? What's good, lineage? This is your brother Chief Flying Eagle Ra Elohim. Now I'm gonna go to this sister's video, all right? And I gotta say, a lot of our people, all right, I'm saying our people are waking up to the truth and they're seeing, the games that's being played. You feel me? But even if they're not seeing it consciously within their subconscious mind, they know something isn't right. So that ancestral guidance is stepping in. You feel me? And I'm just so I'm excited, right? But this sister is breaking some things down as she's talking. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna make my commentary as usual. You know what I mean? But just to show you that what I've been telling you from the very beginning was actually the truth. And I told you before, it will all come to light because I'm not always ahead of my time. I'm always on time. It's just that a lot of people are not ready for the message that I bring at that time. You feel me? So let's listen to that. Pay attention, okay?
So Donald Trump, not in these exact words, but basically admitted this week that a lot of the things that he's been doing, a lot of the policies, a lot of the executive orders that he's been signing off on was all made with the intention of getting Black people back into the field.
All right. So she's saying that indirectly, subliminally, Donald Trump is saying that, or he is implying that all these executive orders, the steps that he has taken with deportation and all these different things, the illegals and all that, right? It is to get Black people back into the fields. That's why I told my people it was a trap from the very beginning. The whole 14th Amendment, birthright citizenship, you're a descendant of slaves, then, the Muskogee and the Cherokee Nation working with the federal government, aka corporation, to tell you that you are a descendant of slave, a freedman that was enslaved by Native Americans, indicating that the Native Americans are the original people and people of our likes came from Africa as slaves. That's what they accepted. And that's what they literally put into the legal system. All right. Now, she said, Black people. I have to just adjust some of what my beloved sister is saying. Not criticizing her, right? But I really, man, I love what she did, right? But I have to let her know, and I'll tag her in the video. I have to let her know that there's a difference between people and Black persons. There are Black persons, but Black people don't exist within law. You feel me? But I get what she's saying. But when we are speaking, we have to teach our people to put things in their proper context. You feel me? So when we do that, we are also dealing with the spiritual ramifications. We're dealing with the lawful and legal ramifications at the same time. You feel me? And therefore, we'll get a different result because now we are changing the paradigm shift. We are putting the glitch in the system. My people, welcome. I am Chief American Flying Eagle, aka the Black Identity Slayer. Let's go.
It was made with the intention of getting Black people back into the field. All right.
Black persons, not Black people. Black people don't exist.
So on Tuesday, Donald Trump made an appearance, right, on CNBC's Squawk Box. And on that platform, he actually made a lot of commentary in regards to the situation with the deportations, migrant workers, the state of America's agriculture, and he made comments on inner city people not doing farm work. I want you to always remember that when they mention inner city, that means Black. In Donald Trump's exact words, people that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They've tried. We've tried. Everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. They don't get a bad back because if they get a bad back, they die. He also went on to say that they are very, very, very special people and they cannot be easily replaced. Remember what I said, anytime that they mention the words inner city people, inner city communities, inner city neighborhoods, that's Black. That's code for Black, blackity black, okay?
And remember how ironically I did a video called Blackity Black, right? Once again, Black persons. The target has always been Black persons to make our people Black persons, take them out of law and put them in a legal system where they have no rights, they have no protections, and therefore Black persons, 3/5 of humans, they can get mistreated, abused within the legal system, and it's legal. It's not lawful, but it's legal. That's why the police get away with it. That's why the system get away with it, because it is legal. I'm not saying it's moral. I'm not saying it's lawful, but it's legal. We live in a legal system. So how do we change that? We step back into our position as the lawful people and set laws and order back on our land. I keep telling y'all, I know the house. Everything is already in place.
Black people. And it is because of that exact commentary that it reconfirms for me, okay?
And you see how she's stressing black people? My sister, there's no such thing as black people in the United States. There are black persons. And we have to make a distinction. That's a curse that we are putting on our people. However, it is a gift to the corporation, but it's a curse to our people.
Confirms, but reconfirms, meaning that I already knew, but it reconfirms that the plan from the very beginning with these executive orders, right, was to further destabilize Black communities, further destabilize poor communities, but Black mainly, so that you could put pressure on these communities so that you could get them to go back into the field, right? And then once you get them back in the field, bingo, you've made America great again.
Well, yes and no. Our people were never in the fields as slaves. We have always owned the land. We have always worked our land. All right. We got into contracts with these people, sharecroppers, all these different type of jobs, so to speak. Even today, people go to work. They say, man, I got to go to the plantation. You feel me? People confuse plantation with slavery. All plantation means is estate. Go look at the etymology of the word. Our people own those plantations. They own the estate. They were working their own land. The miseducation of our people with propaganda and misleading information is what brought us to this point right now. You feel me? So they have our people fighting to be Black, not realizing that there's no such thing as Black people. So when you're fighting to be Black, you're just fighting to be persons in the system, which is a property of the system, chattel of the system. Okay? And when people talk, they tell me, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. You got to tell me what you mean. Say what you mean and mean what you say. It's either you know or you don't know. And then people get so emotional and they want to attack me because I'm speaking the truth. I'm just saying.
Modernized slavery. But Black people said, fuck you and this little game that you want to play. Since we are the most valuable player on the scoreboard, we will remove ourselves and let's see if this game is still going to continue. And that's in fact what we're seeing right now.
Well, yes, we are the major players on the board, but we cannot do it as Black. You feel me? Because the mere fact that we accept the fact of being Black, we did not win. That is not a victory. You did. It's not a victory. However, I love the fact that our people, and hear what I'm saying, our people, okay, are standing aside and watch it play out. But the silent revolution, so to speak, should be us reclaiming our status as the original indigenous people of the land, the American Indians. And if I'm not mistaken, I see this sister with the IET flag, so I think she's Asian, right? Maybe she knows, she don't know. She's indigenous, original indigenous to the land. Haiti is a corporation. IET is the original land. So she's actually indigenous. You feel me? She's not Black. But that's a different story. Let us rock.
Donald Trump thought that by forcing all of these other people out, taking away our Medicaid, doing all of these things to further destabilize our community, that we would conform.
Well, we don't have communities. We don't have communities. We got neighborhoods and hoods. Community means to the ability to commune within a unit. We are stepping into the idea of having communities because I've never seen so many of our people are now uniting. You feel me? So it's still a work in progress, but we have neighborhoods and we have hoods and they are already destabilized. Okay? With the gang activity, the so-called Black on Black crime, that was supposed to happen because that's what it means to be Black. To be lack thereof of moral compass codes. You feel me? Spiritual discernment. That's what lacking means, to be void of. You feel me? So all that chaos had to take place within the neighborhoods and the hoods. So because we are stepping back into our original self, then we could start building communities again. We could go back to the village again. You feel me? So I'm literally edifying the sister by hopefully she'll see this and she'll adjust. And because she has a following, I mean, that video already have 169,000 likes and 79, whatever, 21,000 shares. Can you imagine if she was putting it in that context of us being the American Indians, the original indigenous people, and that we are not black people, and she knew the difference between people and persons? I'm telling you, I mean, man, I hope she I hope she see this, because she's powerful. She's powerful. You feel me?
That we would just do what he wants us to do, what the whites of this world, what white supremacy wants us to do.
And here's another thing. White and black has nothing to do with skin color. They are both statuses. You feel me? So yes, within the political system, it's okay to be white because that's a status. It's a status. However, our status is American Indians, but it's okay to be white in commerce. You feel me? All right then.
But black people decided to pull a Uno reverse and they did nothing, which is something that they're not used to black people doing.
Well, yes and no. Physically, our people didn't do anything, but spiritually they did, because they accepted the fact that they were birthright citizenships, descendants of slaves from Africa. So that's a spiritual condemnation. You feel me? Against our ancestors. Because our ancestors were not from Africa and they were not black. They were not descendants of slaves. So they accepted the spiritual contract. Okay? But the physical body did not respond. You feel me? Pay attention to what I'm saying. Okay? Pay attention to what I'm saying. So physically, they are being, I'm glad they are not literally falling into the trap of jumping back into a civil rights movement, because like I said before, the civil rights was never about us. So even if they accepted the contract spiritually, I hope it don't manifest in the flesh physically. So we still have time to reverse all the damage that's being done in the spiritual realm. That's all I'm saying. Okay?
They're used to black people having this spirit of rebellion, having this spirit of revolution. But instead, black people decided that, you know what, I'm going to preserve my energy for me and my people, but I'm also going to remove myself from this game entirely. And now everything is starting to crumble. The way that the America agriculture is taking a huge hit right now because of Donald Trump and his deportations. Like, I don't think that you understand how much America survives off of the labor of undocumented workers.
Well, that is true. And my sister, just so you know, the United States is not America. America is a continent. All right. And the United States is not America, just so you know. All right. And people always say, you know what I'm talking about? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Say what you mean and mean what you say. That's why I hold people accountable for doing their due diligence. And when they bring information, make sure they bring information that will elevate the people in terms of giving them the truth. You feel me? But like I said, I'm definitely giving the sister, you know, her kudos. But at the same time, hopefully she sees this and she becomes sharper, because she could be a force to be reckoned with.
And when I say y'all, I mean all the other races. Black people knew, because black people were telling you. They told you, don't do this. Don't do this, because we're not going back in the field.
And once again, we were never in the field as slaves. We owned the land. We were working our own lands. Our people were contracted to work. However, during the 7-year contract of what we may call workers or servitude, all right, those covenants were not, how would I put it? They were not honored. So yes, so they put our people into a slave status. Okay, but our people were never slaves.
Don't do this, but y'all didn't listen. And just to put into retrospect of how important undocumented migrant workers are to the agriculture economy here in America, the U.S. Department of Agriculture reports that roughly 42% of crop workers are undocumented, with nearly 70% being foreign born. This labor is essential in states like California and Texas, where up to 80% of farm workers lack legal status. Donald Trump signed off on a lot of these executive orders back in January. It is now August, and in between that time, he has done a parade of chaotic shit, trying to put pressure on the Black community, but the Black community has refused to fold. They have.
Well, the reason why our people are not, responding in such a way is because within them, all right, there's this ancestral truth. You feel me? That even if it's buried within their subconscious, it is still holding them and protecting them, because right now we are going through the Jubilee, right? So like I said, I'm going to tag the sister in this video. Hopefully she'll do some research, do her due diligence, look up the Jubilee and see what I'm talking about, so she could sharpen her skills. You feel me? So with that being said, that's what's taking place right now. So even if a lot of our people don't get it, eventually a lot more are going to get it. All right?
Have not folded. And it's not just the Black community, but the legal Hispanic community here, the legal Latinos here, the Browns, and every other race.
Because you see, our people like calling everybody else the Browns, but look at the sister. She's brown. She's copper tone. Why is she calling herself Black? You see, it goes to show you the indoctrination and the misinformation that our people are being taught when we are labeled and classified as a color in a crayon box. You feel me? Only a legal fiction, a legal entity that exists only on paper, and we think it's real. Black persons only exist in a legal system, not a lawful system. That's why they are able to do what they are doing to our people. It's legal, but it's not lawful. It's immoral, but it's legal. Okay?
That sees what this administration has been trying to do from the very beginning. They have not folded. And because of that, everything that he has signed off on in January is starting to bite him in the ass in August.
And that's why I told y'all before, Donald Trump's agenda, it hasn't changed from the Benjamin Franklin letters. A lot of our people got tricked into thinking that Donald Trump is real. No, he like I said, he has to play both sides of the coin. Okay? Put things in place to restore the original people, but at the same time, create situations where they don't, or distractions where they don't realize that they are the original people, and give them the illusion that he's fighting for them. All right?
And to all of you people out there that had so much to say in regards to the Black community and the 92% and them actually deciding to stand down and not participate, to not get involved, to protect their peace, all of the critiques that you had on their decision, let this be your example. Let this be your primary example as to why you should stay the fuck out of Black people business. Stay the fuck out of Black people business.
All right. So, well, I'm going to stop here, right? Not because she's using profanity. Me personally, I don't really use profanity, but the point is, I hope you got her message, and I hope you got my message. Like I said, I'm going to tag her in this, and hopefully she receives it, with honor and sharpen her skills. You feel me? But yes, my people, we have to give up the identity of being Black. Okay, I am the Black identity slayer, and I was sent to restore our people. As a collective, bring back the community, bring back the village. This is our land, this is our motherland, and we must and we shall be restored. All right. With that being said, this is your brother Chief Lion Igor Elohim. Enjoy the rest of your 24, and I'll see you and talk to you on the other video. All right. Stay original indigenous, stay American Indian. Let us slay the Black Dragon.